I'm about to learn all that super chat stuff. I'm about to learn all that, so I can be official in here with y'all. Real talk. What up, everybody? I was trying to wait for a couple of people to come in the room so I can go over this rap beef from my perspective, the way that I've been seeing it transpire and what's been going on. I see a lot of rappers losing right now, and that's not cool. I see a lot of dudes hating, and I see a lot of intimidation and shit going on, and I just don't think that it's right. You know, when you think about it, rap beef is just like any other beef. It comes from things like miscommunication, misunderstanding, and that's just on a human level when you're talking about beef. Now, that's on a human level when you're talking about beef. If we're talking about the rap part of it, well, then you got to consider other things like, you know, jealousy, street credibility, you know, and basically overall just like robbery, depending on the rap beef that we're talking about here. Because a lot of people are in beefs for various reasons. They either want to rob you, they're jealous of you, street credibility, or something along those lines. To get your chain, to come online, to get some more demographics, and basically that's what that is. Now, this all started from, you know, stuff like, you know, just rap songs and shit. Roxanne Shante back in the day, or like KRS-One, MC Shan, and Juice Crew and those dudes, people like that. That's when it was on wax. That's when you say something about an artist and it take about a week or two for them to hear it, and then they go in the studio and they do a song about you, and that's like the hottest thing on the radio. And that was like back in the gap. You know? And you went to shit like, you know, rap battles, guy against guy, whoever's the hottest, then you know, you go from there. After the rap battles, you got the, you know, the rap DVDs, the smack DVDs, beef DVDs, you know, French Montana, the DVDs that he was doing, Coke Boys DVDs. There's a lot of DVDs that was out there. What was that? The cheese DVDs from the South. That was popping. You know what I'm saying? So we've been having rap beef forever. It's not like rap beef ain't been going on for the longest time. You know, it's not nothing brand new that we haven't heard of before. You know, you got people like Jay-Z, that's the king of being subliminal when it comes down to the rap beef lines. You know, because Jay-Z will tear you up with a subliminal and you won't even know, well, a lot of people won't know who he's talking about until he basically lets you know such and such is who I'm talking about. But see, now beef has changed, especially since like, you got a lot of influence now from like the gangs. There's a lot of artists out here that's claiming affiliation with different gangs. And as soon as you affiliate yourself with a gang or any sort of group like that, you automatically make yourself susceptible to everything that comes along with it. So, what goes along with being in a gang? We all know beef, robbery, criminal acts. The list can go on and on. Drugs, extortion, kidnapping, robbery. It can go on and on. So now what we're talking about now is merging these two things together. The beef part of it with the rap, where you're just talking about doing something to somebody for sport, for record sales, and to get more marketability. Because in reality, the record labels make money off of exposure. You make money off of being exposed. Your record makes money off of being out there for people to hear and to buy. If there's no momentum behind the record, no one's going to buy it. What type of momentum do people look for? Beef, people actually liking the songs, it going viral digitally on the internet. Maybe it starts to trend because of a dance. You never know. The song might even stem from a saying. Like what's that thing that lady said a couple of years ago? And it became a saying. It happens like that. Things happen like that where sayings become songs because of whatever's trending. But like I was saying before, when you merge rap beef with actual gangsters and people that actually get it in, then you wind up having the results of things that come along with that. Now, you got these artists out here that's claiming that they're affiliated with different gangs and things like that, which means that they're paying people. They're looking out for guys and making sure that they're straight. They might be bailing some people out. They could be paying some rent. They could be just looking out financially because they feel like they're obligated to do that. And just from that, now it looks as if it's a conspiracy where this artist is backing the illegal activities of this affiliation. This is why, if you're going to deal with something, people, I stress that you learn about what you're dealing with before you jump into it. There's nothing greater than being your own man or your own woman and basically leading by example, because it's fantastic once you are yourself and you notice that people are following you because of the person that you are. It makes you love yourself more. There should be many more people that stress that and talk about it so that we understand that you don't have to copy this person or knock off this other person. You are your own greatest artist, actress, actor, musician, and everything, if you really think about it. Why I say that? Because you're a human being just like anyone else. And if these other great people can do things, you can too. So what I wanted to say was about the influence of the artists dealing with people like that. There's a downfall to dealing with it, catching cases, getting caught up in the conspiracies. I mean, look at Tekashi. Look at Bobby Shmurda. Murder Inc. Their entire label was, demolished because of just the investigation, which they won, which is unheard of in many areas because of the simple fact that 9 times out of 10, when the feds come for you, They primarily have all of their ducks in a row. They don't want to submit a case that they feel that they're not going to beat. That they're not going to win. So when Murder Inc. came out of this case, they didn't lose the actual case, but they lost everything else. Lost the credibility. They lost the fact that, Universal put them out of the building and they didn't want them to be anywhere around them because of, the investigations. Even if you're not a criminal, you don't want those sorts of things around you. So, of course, the label heads and other people were like, yo, y'all can stay on the label, but y'all can't stay in the building. So they had to actually go and find another building to work out of, which wasn't far. But think about that. You're working somewhere for so long, you get investigated, and now you're out. You got to take your entire company somewhere else. You got to totally restructure. You got to move around. You got to bring in, new people and get things done. Whereas it was happening all under one infrastructure before. So that's a lot, and just that can take out the average company. So imagine the average individual dealing with that. You don't have the right type of lawyer. You don't have the right type of money. It only takes a certain amount of time before the government can beat you. You have to go to court a certain amount of times. You have to pay your lawyer, and that all costs. So depending on how much money you have in your war chest depends on how long you can have that sort of legal representation or even any sort of paid for representation. This is such a vast situation and just does not start from one area. That's why when they say you should pay attention and do things the right way, because simple always equals greatness if you're doing it in the right way. When you try to do it abstract and do all sorts of illegal activities and different things to get you there, you will wind up like the people I just mentioned. Not only those people, but other ones. We're talking about Tekashi. We got Bobby Shmurda. You got people like that we even forgot about. I'm sorry to say it, but like look at AR Ab, and that was more recent. He's locked up right now under a conspiracy. Facebook uses. The feds, they use Facebook, YouTube, and all the platforms that we on in order to follow you and see what you're doing. Daz Dillinger, his house got broken into because he threatened and said some stuff about Kanye. So now he's looking at a whole bunch of time because of the simple fact that he said a couple of things online. Feds got it on tape. Boom, no matter what, they coming to see what's going on. Now they breaking your spot and they got you for everything that's in there. So this is what I'm speaking on, guys. Like you make your bed and you lie in it. So all I'm saying to you is, if you choose to live this way, understand the repercussions and the ramifications. You don't understand what repercussions mean? It means what you put yourself into, expect those results. Put yourself in school and education, expect a degree. Put yourself in criminal activities, expect criminal things, criminal results. Expect larceny, expect crime, expect criminal activity, expect law and legal contact, expect it all, because it comes with the nature of the business that you're dealing with. There's no, oh, I'm going to go and do that and wind up over here. No. It all leads to the same road. There's not many successful gangsters that made it out of the game and were able to transition. Not many. And if you think that you are a successful possibility, go for it. But using government platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube and all of that to scream at people and say what you're going to do and make yourself hot with people like the hip hop police, and which leads to even further investigations like feds and stuff like that. Rock out. Another thing I wanted to really stress was there's only a certain type of people that get involved with stuff like this, like junk rappers, you know, show up at the show just to rob somebody. There's some of them that are jealous of your success, of other rappers' success. So they'll rather beef with you to try to hurt you. They're jealous, or they want some street cred. You know? And the sad part about it is the labels, they benefit from it. Look at XXX Tentacion. Like, the brother probably was out for maybe a year hot, got in the mix, and because of jealousy, even if it was beef, what type of fucking beef does XXX Tentacion have with somebody? Unless it has to do with that case that we know about. But if it's anything else, it has to be jealousy, or a friend knowing that I'm about to go and buy this bike with all this money. So that's jealousy, that's envy, and that's basically setting somebody up, which is another criminal act. Max B sentenced to 75 years for a case out in New Jersey, which they say he was a part of, which had to do with a conspiracy to rob, which ultimately wound up in a murder charge. I look at this a little differently, and I might be wrong, but I'm just going to put it in these type of words. We as human beings, even if we're not a rapper or an actor, we always have opportunity because we have our freedom and who we are. Sometimes we rush to do things because of the fact that we might not have money at that time. And many of us have done many things for money that we probably don't feel too good about. So again, we get the results of whatever stems from doing those acts. You have to be very careful with what you do, because let's say you're in the cultivating stages of creating something. I've heard of basketball players and juniors that were on their way to the NBA that affiliated themselves with selling drugs that wound up in jail for long periods of time. I've seen and know of rappers that are fantastic as far as the music is concerned, but when it comes down to it, they probably did something before their peak in the music and wound up getting locked up or arrested. Some of them even have their stories, like for instance, what's his name, Steady B out of Philadelphia. I'm going to go back. Even a couple of up-known rappers that did a couple of robberies and got arrested for it. Like Black Rob admitted the robbery that he did, this purse snatching or whatever the case may be. But when you already have the established fame or even a little bit of it, sometimes we look at it like it's not enough to get us to where we need to be. But in reality, you have to look at the glass as half full, because that means that you only have another half of the glass to go to get to where you need to be. So what I want to say in closing is this: don't always rush to do things just because of what you feel is validated out of monetary gain or monetary need. Do things for overall long-lasting situations and outcomes, and for what you want to be your legacy. Also do things for the long term. Invest in yourself, invest in your education and your freedom into whatever you want to do. Don't just sit there like an ignoramus and not do anything with that beautiful body and brain that God gave you. Be somebody and do something for yourself. In closing on this rap beef, Tekashi and Bobby Shmurda situation, there's even situations like the model Gloria Velez, who was no longer even valid anymore because of things like this. You don't even hear about them anymore. So in closing, I want to say thank you guys for coming out. And I know a lot of people would rather see me coming on here talking a bunch of craziness and ebonically speaking, and that might get me more views or whatever. But ultimately, I feel that if I just be myself and let you guys know what I'm about and speak my truth, the people that do respect what I'm saying will be receptive, and you guys will come. And overall, understand my message is nothing of personal gain or jealousy or anything like that. I do this to really, to really mean something and to help people out. So it's your boy Bugatti, Dumb Out, Real Life Music. Thank y'all for coming. Could have went anywhere else, but you decided to come here, so I appreciate that. www.boogottinyc.com. Subscribe to the channel right there. Share and like the video. See y'all soon. Get 'em! Yeah. Bugatti.